They say good things come in tiny packages, and that is definitely the case with my brand new DIY. You are gonna love this one. Well, it is indeed a special eye treatment. As we all know, they can be very expensive to buy in the store. But what you may not know is that it's so easy to make your own. Yes, this very special Miracle Eye Balm contains just 5 ingredients, and it is soothing, intensely hydrating, and anti-aging. I am loving this DIY. I know you will too. Let's get started. So I'm using calendula wax. This will firm up the formulation, and I'm using that in place of beeswax. I'm using shea butter. This is a natural organic shea butter. I'm using rosehip seed oil, which is the ingredient that we want for diminishing those fine lines. It's such a great anti-aging ingredient, sometimes known as rose mosqueta. I'm using calendula oil, which is deeply soothing and hydrating. I'm using a little bit of unrefined virgin coconut oil. And then aside from that, what I have in front of me is I have some little pots, very inexpensive little pots, links for obviously everything here underneath the video, and I have some measuring spoons, and I have sterilized the pots and the spoons by submerging them in water that is on the boil, and then I quickly remove it from the boil because I don't want these melting, but that's how I sterilize them. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I am going to get going now with putting these ingredients together. It's so simple, this recipe, I can't even. So what I've done is I've taken a measuring cup. This is a ceramic kind of oven safe one, so it can take some heat, but you could use, you know, a glass jug or something that you can either go in the microwave, is microwave safe, or will withstand heat, because we're going to put it in a bain-marie over boiling water. Now to that I have added 2 tablespoons of shea butter and 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. Now the next thing that I'm going to add is my calendula wax, which will, you know, harden the formulation, otherwise it would be sort of too oily. And I am going to put in 1 and 1/2 a teaspoon. So 1.5 teaspoons of the wax. Now I'm going to pop in 1/2 a teaspoon of the rosehip seed oil, like so, and 1/2 a teaspoon of the calendula oil. Okay, that's it. And now we're going to go and heat that up. Okay, so next up I have a saucepan. You could do this in the microwave, it's a lot easier. But if you don't have a microwave, if you don't like using them, you could pop it in there. Obviously you've got to be careful that whatever you're using to melt your wax is not going to break. That's obviously super important, that it's kind of hot water safe or oven safe. So we're going to let those oils just gently melt, and I am stepping away to grab one of my little popsicle sticks, and we're going to wait for those to melt. Okay, now, whoop, that is melted completely.
So we'll turn the heat off.
Now at this point, before you pour into the pots the balm to set up, you might want to, and this is entirely optional, introduce one more ingredient, which is an essential oil. And this really will make the eye balm smell really beautiful. It smells, it just has a sort of neutral, slightly kind of waxy scent without it. I personally love geranium. It's a beautiful, uplifting scent, and it's also anti-aging as well. So that's an optional ingredient because not everybody wants to have essential oils in an eye product. So we've got to go easy with our essential oils, and I'm just going to put in 3 drops. That's it, and then swirl it around, and we're done. Okay, so now I have the little pots already, and you can see that even this very small amount is going to make a lot, of jars of this beautiful eye balm. I'm going to make 4. I'll probably get about 6 to 8 of this, so you can make a bunch for your friends. And now I'm going to leave it for about an hour to set up. So these are now set up, and as you can see, it's quite firm. And you can, if you want to set it up quickly, you can pop them in the fridge for about an hour, and it will really depend on your room temperature. If it's really warm, I would suggest putting it in the fridge. If it's cool, in your kitchen, you could just leave them out on the counter, for 1 or 2 hours. So I just want to show you the texture here. This one here I've just opened up and began to try. So this is really how you use it. You're just going to swirl your finger in it. This is one option. And then you'll have a little bit on your finger, and then you'll apply it, just dab it on your under eye area. The other thing that you might want to do, I have this little tiny spoon that I got from a skincare company, but you could use, a little spatula, and then just take a tiny little bit out with the spatula. And I do like using a spatula because it sort of really prevents any bacteria from getting into your formulation. And just remember, anything in a little jar or a pot, each time you pop your finger in it, you could be introducing some bacteria. And of course, there's no preservative in natural skincare. Okay, that's it. My eyes feel so good. They feel hydrated. I am loving this. I also love that it lasts a long time because it doesn't have water in the formulation. We don't need a preservative. You can keep it in a cool, dark cabinet like your bathroom cabinet for up to 3 months. And if you want to pop it in the fridge, it'll have a 6-month shelf life. And because I have all these little extras, they are gifts. I'm meeting 2 girlfriends this week, one for lunch, one for dinner, and I come bearing gifts. The Miracle Eye Balm. Why don't you get making a batch of your own? And please, as usual, leave me comments. What do you think of this? Particularly let me know when you tried it and any questions. And as usual, I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. See you next time.